Hi, I'm Mari, and today I'm going to show you 10 beautiful blushes. I will swatch them up close, and I do apply them onto my cheeks across 10 different days. I will give you my thoughts on them, and I really hope you enjoy the video. All of these swatches were taken outside in the natural sunlight. You can see that I was very drawn to peachy and corally shades. Some of them look quite similar, and we're going to talk about all of them. At $55, this is the most expensive blush, and there are 12 other shades. The shade that I used is Rose Bronze, and it's a light rosewood shade with beigey tones and has tone-on-tone shimmer, whatever that means. It comes with 0.18 ounces, and it had 4.7 stars with 1,000 ratings, 1,000 plus ratings. It was very powdery. The pigment was very light, and it was shimmery. It can look pearly if you applied too much of it, and I found that the best way to use it was as a topper because it's much lighter than I was wanting. I did actually end up returning it, and I hardly ever return things, but I just felt it really wasn't worth it. The description online says it's soft, silky powder blush that enhances the complexion with a touch of color and radiance. The ultrafine texture glides on easily, offering buildable coverage for customizable results. A floral accord of rosy notes leaves a subtle and recognizable scent on the cheeks. So definitely, yes, it does have some scent to it, a floral scent. I do have another shade of this blush in the shade Malice, which I really love that one, but I feel that this one was definitely not worth it, and the swatches online were not great. It was really hard to find good swatches of this product, unfortunately, and if you are interested in getting any of these, I really recommend going in store to swatch the Chanel blushes. I've heard much better things about their cream blushes, but I have not tried those. And, you know, this powder blush, there are just so many other blushes that are worth it a lot, you know. That are a much better value. This blush is not a good value. It didn't give me enough color payoff, and like I said, if you built it up too much, it could look pearly on the skin, and I did end up returning the blush. So really not a good one. And this is what it looked like outside in natural light on my cheeks. The first blush I started out with was a loser. This Rare Beauty blush costs $27 and has 4.8 stars with 1,000 plus rating, and it comes in 7 different shades. The one that I'm wearing first is the shade Alive, and the color is a bright coral orange. It is intense, but it's blendable. The color payoff is very saturated, but you can really put it on in layers and softly. As you can see, I'm building it up there. It was really easy to work with, even though it looked really scary. It's very creamy. The texture of it, when you rub your finger in it, feels so good and creamy. And it dries to a powdery, soft powder. It does set, and it looks very blurring, which is gorgeous. And it does come in 7 shades, and it has 0.22 ounces, and it is one of the best values out of all the blushes I purchased. It is described as a bouncy, buildable putty. It blends like cream, blurs like powder, weightless, natural matte, that won't settle into creases, emphasize texture, or dry you out. It is easy to apply and layer. You can wear it bright or bold or blended for a softer effect. It is water, sweat, and humidity resistant for serious staying power that won't transfer or smudge. It is enriched with cacao seed and nourishing blend of pomegranate, papaya seed, and rosehip seed oils to keep skin hydrated. It is also cruelty-free, vegan, non-comedogenic, dermatologist tested. It blurs and sets quickly. The second blush was a big time winner. The next blush I have is another Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush. This one's in the shade Worth, and it is a true rose. Again, it costs $27 with 4.8 stars and over 1,000 ratings. I love, love, love this blush. This one, the color I like slightly more than the orange one, but they're both fantastic blushes. They're so gorgeous. I actually want all of the shades. There might be one that I think is too dark for me, but out of the 7 shades, I pretty much want all of them. And the shades do coordinate with their liquid blushes as well. So like you can have the matching liquid Worth blush and then this blush. This formula is very, very beautiful. I love the way it feels on the skin, on your fingers. It's gorgeous. And out of all the blushes, this is the one I love the most. Well, this one and the other Rare Beauty blush. Like out of all the blushes in this video, top is this one. So again, the third blush, big time winner. The next blush I have costs $23 and it has 4.5 stars with 738 ratings. It is, I think, rated so low, even though 4.5 stars is not really low. But a lot of the reviews that were negative is because they didn't like the packaging. I don't have a problem with the packaging. I could put it in a Z palette, and you know, they're trying to do their best to make less waste, and so I think it's a good cause. Anyways, it is easy to blend. It's light but buildable. It sets down and it has no scent. It's matte but not flat. Oh, and the shade was Don't Be a Doll, and it's a peachy bubblegum shade. It is a pillowy cushion of blush that guarantees mistake-proof application and a soft buildable flush. The unique cream powder formula magically blurs on application to infuse your cheeks with diffused color. It is the most affordable blush out of all of the blushes in this video, and it has the most amount of product, well, besides Patrick Ta, we'll get to next. It has 0.23 ounces of product. It comes in 5 colors. It is beautiful, smooth. It has a slight shimmer, like very tiny micro glitter. I would say, I think they're gold. It has a soft focus effect. It's 100% recyclable paper foam compact, and it's dermatologist tested. There are 2 other shades that I'm really interested in purchasing. And like I said, it comes in 5 shades. Out of all of the blushes I tried in this video, you'll see I did rate this one in the love category. I would say it's the one that I would say is the third top, well, the top 3 blushes. It is gorgeous. I love this blush. I really hope they make more shades of this blush actually, because I love it. So as you can see, this one is a winner. The next blush costs $38 and it has 4.7 stars with over 9,000 ratings. You can see it's quite popular, and it comes in 18 shades. There is a shade for everyone. I really love that Patrick Ta keeps releasing more shades, and there are really good swatches online. It comes with 0.21 ounces of cream and 0.14 ounces of powder, which is a total of 0.35 ounces. Out of all the blushes in this video, this has the most product, and I think it's a really good value. It is described as non-comedogenic, cruelty-free, talc-free, and a radiant finish, a viral duo compact of powder and cream blush formulas to achieve long-wearing bold color that melts into the skin for a beautiful, radiant glow. And it is a great value. It is more intense on the cream side. It is very, very creamy, but it does set down to a matte finish. And the more you shear it out, the quicker it dries down. It is not a flat matte, and I do really love, love, love this product. I did struggle a little bit with the cream formula. It's just because the pigment is so saturated that I struggled with it a bit, but I just could use, a different brush or a sponge, and that's not an issue at all. I do own, I think, 4 or 5 others. I really do adore this product. As a matter of fact, if I didn't already own so many, this blush would be the top one in the entire video. I instead chose the Rare Beauty blushes because I didn't own any of the Rare Beauty blushes before making this video. So it is a stellar product, and if you've not tried it, I would recommend it. There are great swatches online, and some of the shades can be quite similar though, so you have to be careful. Some of them are just deeper, but the same shade. So just look online, and it is well worth it. You can wear it many ways. You can use just the cream, you can use just the powder, and then of course you can layer it. Patrick Cha recommends that you put the powder first and then put the cream on top to create a little bit of a skin-like glow. You can also put down the cream first and then set it with the powder. I've worn these blushes in every way that you can, because you have 4 different ways that you can use this blush. My favorite way to wear it is the way Patrick Ta recommends, but of course the cream is intense, so I have to be careful. And you can see outside how gorgeous it looks on my cheeks. So this blush was also a winner. The next blush I have is the Saie Super Suede Talc-Free Powder Blush in the shade Mia, which is a soft rose. It costs $28 and has 4.8 stars with 501 ratings. It has light pigment. It is baked and shimmery for a diffused flush of color. It comes with 0.11 ounces. It is the smallest blush in this entire video. Even though it looks like a lot of product. You'll see later that I have a small Clinique blush that looks like it has less product, but it actually has even more product than this. It does come in 6 shades. It's cruelty-free, and it is a light pigment, diffused flush of color, super luxurious and plush. Super Suede Baked Powder Blush is the new standard for baked powder blush. Hard whipped and baked using time-honored Italian techniques, Super Suede has a velvety texture that melts into the skin for an impossibly lightweight diffused flush of color with a natural blurred finish. With a curated palette of 6 shades, the Super Suede blush gives effortless, breathable color payoff and works for a wide range of looks. It is non-comedogenic, long-lasting, never patchy, drying, or cakey. Compact is made of 62% post-consumer resin, plastic that's been repurposed, recyclable compact through their website. And it is beautiful, but I don't really see what's so special about it. So many people rave about this blush, and I'm like, it's all right. I think I like it better as a topper, but it is pretty. So this blush was a winner. I like it. The next blush, the Valentino Eye to Cheek Eyeshadow and Blush, costs $52, and it is the second smallest amount at 0.127 ounces. It comes in 12 shades. The shade I have is Call Me Coral, which is described as a pink coral with light reflecting pearls. It is adorable. I love this blush. It's very luxurious. The packaging is gorgeous. And if you order directly from the Valentino website, you can get your name or anybody's name engraved on it. It is very smooth. It's the softest powder blush that I've ever touched in my entire life. It is scented, but I love the scent. Like, it just makes the experience so much more enjoyable. I like it. It's like a fruity floral kind of scent. It's described as pigmented but blendable, very soft sheen, not shimmery or glittery. Oh, that's my description. It has a sheen, not shimmery or glittery, pleasant fragrance and distinct. Dissipates after 10 minutes. It doesn't stick. The scent does not stick. And it says it has pearls in it, but I don't see any. It just gives you a very beautiful not flat matte kind of look. Like it kind of almost blurs the skin, I'd say. And it's described as a versatile cream to powder blush and eyeshadow that creates a radiant color finish from eye to cheek. A balance of buildable coverage and lightweight feel blends with your skin for a customizable color impact. Highly pigmented yet buildable, this creamy powder has a sheer finish that can be layered for a more intense color impact, adapting to your mood. All shades are infused with our signature Roma Light Complex, crafted with color-boosting pearls for a highlighted, radiant color result. A 12-hour wear multi-use formula. Special cream to powder technique, eye to cheek, has a unique and highly sensorial, creamy feel. The powder is at first in a liquid state and then it transforms into a powder, giving its hybrid creamy feel. And it is gorgeous, as you can see. I love this blush. It is a winner, and this blush is my 4th favorite. The next blush is the Clinique Cheek Pop Powder Blush. It costs $30 and has 4.7 stars with over 8,000 ratings. It has 0.12 ounces, so it's also tied for the second smallest amount of product, but I expect that. The compact is very small, and I like that about it. I do own a few of these. I really like the formula. It's pretty and super cute with the flower. The flower doesn't disappear after the first few times of using it either. It does stay embossed in there for a pretty good amount of time. The shade that I got is Ginger Pop, which is described as a warm bronzy coral, and then somebody else described it as a warm peachy tawny pinky shade. It is very blendable. It has soft pigment that can be built up, and it's flattering on the skin, super cute. It is long wearing, and it's a cheek color that imparts a bright hue, vibrant yet natural looking blush for a cheek. It has a virtually powderless finish. Silky smooth, stay true to blush formula makes creating that just pinched look simply effortless. You can build the color to the desired intensity from sheer to intense, and it's dermatologist tested, allergy tested, fragrance free, free of paraben and phthalates, and of course free of fragrance, as I've stated. It's a very cute blush, and you'll see later that this blush actually is a very similar color to another blush. As you saw in the swatches in the natural sunlight, some of the shades looked similar. So at the end, I do have a little picture of all the blushes that ended up looking like the same color basically, but the formulas are just slightly different. But all in all, I do really like this blush, and many other people love it as well. You can see that it looks really pretty on the skin, and it is super easy to work with. I think the easiest one to work with. So it is a winner. I like it. Next is the Gucci Luminous Matte Powder Blush at $49. It has 4.7 stars with over 1,000 ratings. And the shade I have is Bright Coral. It's a true peachy pink. It comes in 9 shades, 0.19 ounces. So pretty good amount of product. I do own one other blush, one other Gucci blush. And it is soft pigment, buildable, very smooth. It's not scented. It is matte but not flat. It's a buildable blush for cheeks and eyes with a hydrating ultra thin powder. This formula of powders and pigments is infused with emollient waxes to deliver buildable, long-lasting color that intensifies seamlessly. The powder cares for all skin types with an infusion of shea butter, hyaluronic acid, and black rose oil, blending easily for a second skin feel. This formula is also very, very easy to work with, very easy to blend, very buildable. You don't have to work hard to make it look pretty. And out of all of the blushes that I have shown in this video, I do love it, and I would say it's the 5th favorite. So I do want to purchase more of these blushes, but it's not at the very top of the list. It is beautiful though. I love the packaging. It is super cute. It does look luxurious, of course, and I like the size of the compact as well. So it is a really great blush, and you know, I really like it. It's gorgeous. I don't really know about how it's luminous and matte. That's a bit confusing for the name, Luminous Matte Powder Blush. But I guess because, like I said, it's matte but not flat. So maybe that's how they can say that it's a luminous matte powder blush. I don't know. But anyway, it is pretty, and I would say it's a little confusing to call it bright coral, but then describe it as a true peachy pink. I don't know. Coral in my mind has a little more red to it, but it is very pretty, and it is rated very highly for me. I do love it. So that blush is a winner. The next blush is Saie Super Suede Talc Free Powder Blush. This is in the shade Stella, which is a bright coral. There are great swatches of this blush, and this is the second blush I own in this formula. This one is a lot more pigmented than the other Saie blush I used, and you know, it looks really similar to the like NARS Orgasm, because it has that corally pinky tone with gold glitter in it. The glitter is very, very small, you know, microfine kind of glitter. It is blendable and like a mid-level pigment. I would say it's not super intense pigment that it's going to be really hard to work with. I did use a dense brush at first, and that's why you see I'm kind of struggling to blend it a bit there. I just used too much because I was thinking it was like the first Saie blush I used in the video, which had a little less intense of a pigment. But it was still pretty easy to work with, and it's a baked formula. It has no scent. It is shimmery. I did compare it to some other blushes that I have. So the other one in the video that I showed, the Valentino blush, it is almost the same as that color, but the Valentino does not have shimmer in it. The other blush in my collection that I quickly kind of thought of that it would look like is the YSL blush in number 93, because it's like a pinky coral sort of tone with some gold. When I looked in the sunlight, the only difference is that the Stella blush or the Saie blush has slightly more of a coral tone. The YSL blush has a slight more of a pinky tone, and the glitter, gold glitter, I think is a bit more prominent in the YSL blush. But it is very pretty. I'm not like obsessed with it. It's a like. I do like it. And that's all 10 blushes rated. Out of the 10 blushes, 5 of them look extremely similar. These are the 5 that look super close to one another. I was really in a peachy, corally phase, I guess. But you can see how similar they are. The only difference is a slight amount of shimmer. The Half Magic blush has the slight shimmer in it, and the others are all matte. And of course the formulas are all slightly different. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's been a month in the making to make sure that I really knew these blushes extremely well and had great information to share with you. And I hope it helps if you're interested in any of these blushes. See you next time.